July 31st, 3:30. Jeanne,
Yes.
you are currently backstage. Around you, you see a bunch of scurrying public relations officers who's trying to get you ready, as well as, talking to the backstage hands and such. Scurrying about. As, beyond the curtain, you can hear the rustle of the reporters waiting for specifically you.
Me. Right?
This should be your, I don't know, third go at this. And then, a whole
Eh,
new colony.
yeah. Still hasn't gotten easier, though. Especially with what she's been hearing about the front lines.
Yeah, what have you been hearing?
Ah, it isn't good. Whatever's happening at the front lines, it isn't good. And a part of her is considering that the public relations officers are not informing her of the situation because they need her to be as quote unquote positive as possible. The Federation is kind of on damage control at the moment. And she served them up the perfect propaganda on a platter. Or, I guess more accurately, Philippe did. She just served the plate.
I suppose that is one way to describe that. Jean, you see a lieutenant. I'm looking around my room for a name. Lieutenant Senior. Uh, go to you and say, you're up.
Breath in, breath out. And she's gonna give a smile to this guy who, honestly, it's not that she has a problem with them in it's not okay. She gives him a smile. This one's genuine because she doesn't have a problem with the people in general, but it's kind of a forced one. Of course, I'll be back soon, and she's going to walk out into the dazzling street.
As you walk out, you see, the flashes of some cameras. But, mostly people are, following etiquette and not immediately pestering you with questions until you get up to the podium. And when you stand out there, you see one of the public relations officers lay down the ground rules and then step away to give you the stage.
John Chevalier steps up to the platform, to the podium in front of her, the abundance of microphones and cameras pointed and snapping at her, hurting her eyes, but one that she has gotten used to dealing with as she kind of raises her hands a bit to, lower the crowd a bit. And she takes a look around her, seeing the sea of reporter faces and cameras. And she points to one of them. You.
Lieutenant, what are your thoughts about the action against the Grey Phantom?
Player rule. Player side. What happened with the Grey Phantom?
That is the Dancing Queen's official ace name. Dancing Queen was his call sign.
Ah, okay.
Same guy.
Jeanne says, Jeanne thinks for a moment. She's already been given an answer. Her own opinion doesn't matter at the moment.
You know,
As she says,
you are what the Federation needs you to be.
yeah, if I'm going to be honest, it was actually quite frightening encountering him in the battlefield. However, with excellent planning from the higher-ups at the Safe Army forces, and the efforts of my squadron alongside the other valiant forces of Safe, we managed to spring enough of a trap that turned the tide against the red. Well, it managed to turn the red tide for just a moment, parting the waters enough to allow me to take a shot at the Grey Phantom. It was a difficult battle, I will admit, but in the end, we were able to prove victorious over the Red's most famed ace.
You see another reporter raise up their hand.
She nods. You in the back.
If we are led to believe that Fort Wonderly shortly after your engagement fell, any thoughts on that?
Although we were able to turn the tide when it came to the ace, we could not, unfortunately, prove as successful with the rest of the current battlefield at that moment. Although we did indeed lose the fort, we were able to inflict heavy red casualties, and we are projected to be able to retake the fort in but a few months' time. This is only a temporary success on the red part. One that will be short-lived.
So you would say, given your frontline experience, that you believe the Federal Armed Forces are still capable of defeating the rebels realistically?
Although it is difficult at the moment, I will admit, for our forces, with just a little more support from Earth and the central colonies, I do strongly believe we'll be able to win the conflict around Saturn and its rings.
As the director, I would like to ask you, Jeanne, do you believe that?
Fuck no.
Okay, then.
Listen, the only thing that was true about what she said was the fact that they were able to turn the tide on their side of the battlefield. The rest of the fight went atrociously. They managed to win the battle, but they did not win the total assault, that offensive. Though, admittedly, they were able to get, well, not only did they take down a prolific red ace, they were able to also buy enough time for rear forces to evacuate. So, although they did lose the fort and they did suffer a lot of casualties, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. If it was as bad as it could have been, we'd probably be in a worse spot. But no, we do not have the capability to win this war. However, I'm not supposed to say that.
And you see another reporter in the sea of them, and I presume you call upon them. This one asks, according to biographic information released on you, you're from the Colonial Administration Jupiter. What influenced your decision to volunteer for the Space Army as opposed to a Colonial Administration Army?
Deep breath. I met a very capable officer from the Space Forces, a man who shared the strong ideals and noble intentions of we're the Union, right?
Huh?
We're the Union, right? It's the Solar Union?
No, Sol Federation.
Sol Federation. I had met in my colony a Federation officer who shared the noble ideals and who held the noble ideals of the Federation, whose words brought hope to the people around us, and with his actions. After being and seeing such bravery and such noblesse oblige amongst the forces that were stationed on our colony, especially through him, well, I was moved. I believe that I, too, can spread the ideals of the Federation, the unity of the Sol Federation for the solar system in these trying times we find ourselves in. And I say that although it's been difficult, we have brought the solar system just a little closer.
On a slightly different matter, what is your opinions about the current state of the Belter troubles?
The current state of the what?
Belter troubles.
You kept cutting out at the end, I'm sorry.
The current state of the Belter troubles.
The Belter Troubles. Recap. The Belter Troubles is the matter of them obtaining representation in the Federation Parliament, correct?
Or independence, depending on who you talk, but this is an armed struggle. Think of it like a low-level civil war that's just sort of on the back burner for the last 30 years.
As someone who grew up in the Belt, I fully understand the woes of the Belters. If I'm to be honest, a part of me does believe that they are fighting for a noble cause. However, there are extremists who believe in total independence and secession from the Federation. Although their reasoning may be understandable, it must be known that the people of the solar system needs a functioning federal body in order to maintain unity among the stars in the times we find ourselves in this time of expansion. We've seen the results of independence. We've seen what aggression towards other humans have brought to our doors, all of our doors, to Saturn, to Jupiter, to Mars, to even the colonies closer to Earth. While I do believe the Belters deserve more representation and more rights among the federal parliament.
As you say that, Jeanne, you see like one of the public relation officers in the back just sort of like doing the cutting motion against their neck.
Doing the cutoff. Yeah. But yeah, she sees it and she nods and she's kind of like, ugh, but she just says, we must remember to maintain federal unity. So basically the message is, yeah, I get where they're coming from, but guys, the Federation's great, I promise.
And after
no, don't secede.
After that, you see how would I describe this succinctly? Per the camera, you see some hands rise up, and I imagine Jeanne smiles or something as she picks on a hand, and then suddenly the scene changes.
I tried to do a French accent. I forgot how to do a French accent. Fuck.
Thing is, I don't do any accents, so I have no grounds to criticize you on.
I should probably stop trying to do the French accent. It's not working.
Even Peri doesn't do that. Lieutenant Senior is with you again, Jeanne. And he is looking mighty irate.
Not surprising in the slightest. Her smile's gone.
Lieutenant, whatever opinions you have on the political makeup of the Federation, you are allowed to have them. However, you cannot express them whilst in uniform, especially in front of the press, who may take your utterances as a private citizen to be official policy of the Federal Armed Forces.
She sighs. My apologies, officer. I found myself caught up in the questions and had prided myself as a Federation Draw officer to tell the truth well, as much as the Federation will allow. Of course, I do believe I was able to swing it back pretty efficiently near the end there.
Ah, yeah, you managed the recovery. You're doing all right in these. Is that a dog?
Yes, it's my dog who is barking. Oh wow, it's a space dog, guys.
Rage baiting my fat dog.
Yeah, that's what Jeanne's doing while he's doing this. There's just a fat dog and she's holding her hand open with a treat and then closing it.
That, you're really gonna get people to be against you, Jeanne, if you keep doing stuff like this.
Yeah. This is actually my plan to sabotage Federation public image.
Anyways.
Anyway, yes.
Then Lieutenant Senior says, well, we'll have to go back to the hotel. Do you have any preferences towards dinner for tonight?
I'm fine with whatever. It's better than what I've usually been served for most of my life. Please, no need to trouble yourself on that. You have more important things to worry about, after all.
I wouldn't say any of that at Lieutenant Chevalier. You currently are the hero of the hour.
Just for this hour, and I'd say we're about to stroke close to midnight by that front.
Well, we'll certainly find out within the next few months.
How is the front going?
I would like you to roll me keen empathy.
Keen empathy. I have an 8. Oh yeah, I got a 5. 4 successes, I think. Yes.
Lieutenant Senior, lying through his teeth, says, well, after the fall of Baker's Point, it's mostly stabilized. We should be digging in right about now.
John is going to give him a smile. The one that is both, this is his job, maybe he's also drinking the Federation Kool-Aid, much like she had at one point. But she will, smile and say, it'll all be worth it in the end, Lieutenant.
Well, I will go manage dinner arrangements. He salutes, then leaves.
Your efforts are important. Thank you.
I assume standing out, you're standing around the colony. And when you look up, you see one of those fancy new transformable walker frames.
Jeanne is going to fish in her pocket as the man leaves and exits the area, and is going to pull out a photograph, one that she has taken.
Oh, what is it of?
One of those walker frames, of course. One that is currently in a hangar alone. And she's just going to stuff that back in her pocket as she's going to begin walking the city, cursing herself at the moment. The situation she's found herself in of being the, the center attraction of the Federation show.
I see. And, speaking of another situation, Philippe,
Yeah.
August 10th, 3:30. You find yourself in a situation.
But what is that situation?
You, currently, in 0G aboard the Greg Maze, are facing a nightmare. One that, no matter what military logic you apply to it, you cannot get out of. You have been invited, i.e. told, to accompany Task Force Commodore General Kusnadi to tea.
Well, Philippe will make an appearance.
I presume Philippe arrives late and will attempt to leave early.
He'll arrive a little early.
Inside, you see a spattering of fellow senior officers, including the Brigadier Parvez and, Colonel Baji. But the first thing you hear when you come in is General Kusnadi, who, despite being Cronian, has no discernible accent as she asks you, "Oh, Major, I heard about the incident. How is your eye doing?"
Philippe kind of idly reaches up to touch it briefly and goes, "Very well, ma'am."
When the camera shifts to you, Philippe, what does it see?
Philippe is much more scarred than he was previously. The eye patch has settled in, though, and it seems to be covering pretty well.
That is just excellent to hear. That is a good question. What is the exact state of your eye? The damaged one.
I don't think anyone's seeing beneath my eye patch right now, so you'll have to wonder about that.
I see. I'll leave it up to the viewer to think about that, ponder it. As they all settle in, you hear Porvez ask General the Commodore, "So what's the scoop, ma'am?" And then General Kusnadi says, "It seems Admiral Debbers, in her infinite wisdom, has elected to begin recalling units to Titan." And, as she says this, a stillness and depressed mood falls upon the entire room. Philippe, what is your reaction to this information?
Philippe doesn't really have one. He just kind of nods quietly along and keeps it to himself.
I see. Then you hear Baji says, "After everything, we're just going to leave Saturn?" And for a few moments, there's dead silence in the room. Until General Kusnadi says, "It seems that Federal Ninth Fleet has determined my home to be indefensible. And the rest of tea time, is about as tense as you could imagine before you are able to slip away to do CAG things.
Very important CAG business.
Lots of paperwork.
Yeah, Philippe just gets to work. Just goes through the motions, gets it all done.
When you're waltzing about the hangar, you notice Nora reading a novel of all things.
Well, none of my business.
When the camera pans over to you, Nora, what exactly are you reading?
Nora seems to be reading a strange old Earth version of Hammer Slammers.
Hammer Slammers?
Hammer Slammers.
And for those in the crowd who don't know what that is,
It is a series by David Drake that features a mercenary tank regiment by a person named Alois Hammer. Kind of draws from the the writer's experience of the Vietnam War. Written in like 70, when the 70s, 90s, 79?
I see. Nora, what would you describe your mood as of late?
As of late, man, that mirror's looking nice today.
What?
Not great, not great. Nora has been definitely introspective lately.
Oh? What has her musings been?
Can the Federation survive this war?
That's an excellent
And
question.
whether or not the Federation can be saved at all.
Oh, at all?
Mm-hmm. Something maybe needs to all be burned down and turned into something new.
But what?
Oh, she's looking to Philippe for that answer.
Who happens to be walking by if you'd like to make a query.
Not yet. Not yet. She doesn't think Philippe would appreciate this talk yet. Especially since part of it involves her wanting to overthrow the government. But we won't talk about that part.
Is saying the quiet part out loud.
No one needs.
What is Jamie doing?
Honestly, probably hanging out with like one of the other flights because he doesn't know how to handle melancholy Philippe or like introspective Nora. So he's probably like discussing tactics with Side Saddle, maybe Shock.
Good, because I was just about to ask which flight, second or third, and you just chose second.
Yeah.
You see Shock looking down at a piece of paper and then looking back up to Philippe. We gotta fucking fix this somehow.
Any suggestions?
He doesn't really like getting drunk. Doesn't really like smoking, so I'm out of ideas. What about you, what about you, Side Saddle? And then you see Lieutenant Urban say, well, I like going into combat for fun, but I don't think he'll like that.
Yeah, combat as recreation doesn't seem entirely within the Major's wheelhouse.
You see Side Saddle straight up mimic Shock's musing pose.
Please.
Weaver is like uniquely not equipped for this situation.
I don't think the Blues are in general.
No, like as a general rule, like as an organization, we're bad at this. I feel Weaver is particularly bad at this. Yeah, I don't know what would be something to drag Philippe out of this particular funk. I mean, combat he's not going to engage in combat for fun, but it would be nice to tack up a win or two, because we seem to be just having our morale take a nosedive with every like successful withdrawal or semi-successful one that we've been in. An unambiguous win would be nice.
Oh, I know. Shock says we need to have a magnificent action.
For the life of me, I don't think that's something we can engineer. Because if it was, I think we probably should have done it a while ago.
Shock goes back to musing. We can't get him laid. That won't work. Philippe?
I'm sorry. I think you cut out a little bit. I did not hear you.
I said Philippe.
No, but like I mean before that, I don't know like what the lead up to calling Philippe was.
Philippe, you see 3 of your pilots just sort of standing there in the middle of the hangar staring at you.
Philippe will give a cheerful smile and a wave as he walks.
See, Jamie, it's just not the same.
True. I feel like Weaver's actually good enough at reading people now to realize that his heart isn't in it.
What are we going to do? Side Saddle says.
Sorry, you cut out for me there. I did not actually catch that, I'm afraid.
Side Saddle says, what are we gonna do? It's bringing down the whole mood.
This is a stupid question. What is the reasonable thing to do in this case? From like we're worried that the CAG is like possibly going to be falling to pieces here. What's next up the chain to talk to?
I suppose the first person you'd want to talk to is Nora?
Okay, who's the second person we want to talk to?
Lieutenant Colonel Bajee.
Oh man, that definitely sounds like a job for somebody with more rank insignia on their shoulders than Weaver.
Yeah, pick your
Thankfully,
fucking
not
poison.
standing here.
What was that?
I said, sounds like a problem for someone who's not Weaver. So I'm not going to go talk to Lieutenant Colonel. That seems like a bad idea.
I suppose that
That's
leaves you with only one option.
Yeah, and sending Shock on that job will definitely go well and not backfire at all. That would be crazy.
Or worse, Urban.
Oof. At least Shock outranks him. I would have figured that would have made it easier. I'm definitely engaging in a slightly cowardly dereliction of this job, but I feel Weaver's too by the book. This is not his realm, and he's not going to stick his nose in on this level.
Well, I guess we go talk to Nora then. Shock starts walking to Nora.
Weaver will follow behind kind of reluctantly.
Nora,
Yes.
a group of 3 comes upon you. Shock, Side Saddle, and Lace.
Is there something you need? Nora says as she puts the book away.
Yeah, actually. Ma'am, I know you and the Major took Jump Rope and Nance's defection quite personally, but the 2 of you are bringing down the morale of the entire squadron.
I see. I'll make sure the Major knows this.
We've been trying to brainstorm ways to cheer up both you and Philly Boy, but we're not really coming up with anything.
I don't think I need anything to cheer me up.
You see Shock raise an eyebrow. Are you sure, ma'am?
I'm quite pleased where I am now.
That's almost more concerning.
I imagine you share a look with Side Saddle, Lace.
Yeah.
I think I'll run into what displeases me soon enough.
Wait, what was that, Paradox?
I said, I think I'll run into what displeases me soon enough.
Captain, that is extremely ominous.
Is it?
So is that.
Don't worry about me.
So is that.
Now you got me laughing.
Nora just bursts into laughter suddenly. That's not off-putting at all.
Okay, I put that away.
I'm gonna say that you heard that, Jamie. That Paradox just said something Nora just said.
Is that all?
Jacques says, I believe so, ma'am.
Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention.
And the 3 of them walk away. Shock turns to you, Lace, and immediately goes, we are so fucked.
Yep. I guess it was worth a shot. Maybe.
Later in the day, Philippe.
Yes.
You're looking over a map of a colony called Wengkol. It's been recently taken by a combined force of Coronian Red Army and gubernatorial forces, which is shorthand for, the Bandit King. Could you make me a keen academics check to see what you know?
I could. I don't have dice, so I'll have to go use a VTT real quick. My last dice disappeared somewhere.
The baby ate it.
Maybe.
The mogging baby. This must sound wonderfully deranged to the listeners, because I'm not going to explain what I mean by that.
My browser has frozen, so just one real quick.
I can do it.
Let me.
I just get dice.
I can roll. What do you need? A 2d6?
Yeah.
I got you a 4. A 1 and a 3.
That's pretty good.
Hour of dice.
That's 5 successes. Well, Philippe, what you know is the Bandit King is a man named Zukomo Nathans. Or Nathan Zukomo, depending upon if you put the surname first or not. We're having technical difficulties. Everyone was just silent then. Oh, good. You can still hear. Excellent. So, as I was, the man's name is Zukomo Nathans. He is currently a governor, nominally, of the Republic of Saturn. However, he has that position because 16 years ago, or so, he was a mercenary who pretty much immediately defected during the Battle of the Rings when, the veteran fleet returned to Saturn and essentially started the war as you know it. He very quickly snowballed his fleet of like 5 ships into a fleet of 80 or so. And through his little pocket, he'd been essentially living like a king and doing whatever he wanted. He's pretty much just straight up a criminal, but he keeps winning battles, so President Veteran doesn't get rid of him. And that's about the extent of your knowledge.
Well, he's an impressive fellow.
His forces are kind of motley at most of the time. However, as a bunch of ex-mercenaries and colonials, they're not exactly really big on the whole light touch thing. And you know how the Coronian Red Army is with, collaborators, as they call them. Current operation you're going to undertake soon is to go to Wayne-Cole as a part of a counteroffensive because it's been recently lost and you want to retake it. This operation was in effect before Debbers began the general retreat from the rings of Saturn to Titan. And, as you're looking over this map of the defenses of Wangkol, from the door of your office comes Nora Callaghan.
Major.
Ah, Captain Callaghan, how can I help?
It's been brought to my attention that we are bringing the mood down, as I've been told.
However so.
Apparently the demeanor since the mission.
I've been perfectly cheerful.
That's what I thought, sir. I have no clue what they mean exactly, but I was told to bring this to your attention, so I have.
Well, thank you for doing so, I suppose.
Sir,
Yes.
what are we doing next?
Well, who knows? He kind of shrugs his shoulders and keeps looking.
All right. And Nora just salutes and leaves.
Nora, about that entire interactions, any thoughts?
Nora is just actually confused what they mean. She does not think either of them have seemed any different. So she's just doing basically people under her have asked her to do something, she did it, and there she goes.
I see. What about you, Philippe?
Philippe doesn't really care.
Doesn't care, I see. And does Philippe think that these fears are warranted in any way?
Maybe it is. But he can hardly dance a jig for them.
Options. Speaking of dancing jigs, it seems Jeanne's press tour has been going relatively well.
Oh, good for her.
Last you heard, a week ago.
Yeah, that's nice. He continues looking at the map.
When you suddenly get a call.
Major Guerre.
This is Baji. I need you up near the bridge.
Understood. On my way.
When you get to the bridge, you see Baji, who looks quite blankly pissed.
Wow, that's not a happy look.
Need a confirmation on something.
Well, shoot, I'm here.
Lieutenant Chevalier, please explain to me again how you've gotten here.
I'm here.
Jeanne, you are currently outside the Greg maze with your stolen walker frame.
Huh. I didn't think I'd already be here. I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far. I'm gonna slowly turn to the back of the walker frame where the co-pilot should be. Is there a co-pilot? Or
There is
there...
no co-pilot.
Yeah, just a strange box. Wonder what that's about. Anyway, Jeanne simply says, in a kind of a, you know what, fuck it, tone of just, Lieutenant Chevalier returning to duty, ma'am. I think I've stayed away from the front lines long enough.
Well, you see, that's not usually typically up to you, Lieutenant.
Oh no, I decided to so on my own.
Lieutenant, why the hell are you here? If it really is you.
Jeanne just says, Jeanne is just, really? You're going to be pulling that?
Apparently,
Doesn't sound like Jeanne.
I came because...
And stealing federal walker frames is in style these days, apparently.
I'm a little unsure what to do at the moment. Like, actually. Jeanne just says, I am willing to be taken into custody and to explain my circumstances. I am willing to surrender at the moment and go under full verification check for my identity, ma'am. I just simply decided that I couldn't stand by doing a press tour anymore. The first situation at the front, it's only going to get worse, ma'am.
And yet, the Admiralty has still decided that you are more valuable. Lifting the spirits of the home front than you are as a line pilot, Lieutenant.
That is what the Admiralty believes. It's not what I believe.
Philippe, you see Baji lean away from the microphone, and he leans against you and whispers, "Could you talk some sense into your young buck here?"
What the hell do you want me to do? She just stole a walker frame and fled from the inner colonies. You think she's gonna listen to me?
I don't know. She likes you.
I don't know about that.
Likes you more than me.
That's fair, but I don't think anyone likes you.
But sir, that's not a very high bar.
I'll have you know I'm happily married, Major.
Philippe just kind of gives him a one-eyed, really.
And, he just smiles at that.
Well, Philippe will lean over to the microphone and go, Jeanne, is that really you up there?
It's me, Philippe. It really is. I understand that I'm doing something incredibly stupid, but I doubt
I don't really care about all that. It's kind of funny, honestly, but it was more just trying to verify that it's you, because it really doesn't sound like you. It sounds more like someone took an audio of your voice and dropped the bass on it and then tuned it more towards sounding like a depressed sack of shit.
My voice actor is really trying to decide what my vibe is right now, sir. Okay, wait, give me a second.
No, I do like that insult, though. Philippe has become mean.
Sir, it's me.
Hi, me. It's Philippe. Send over your credentials. We'll get your cockpit popped and get you examined.
She's gonna send over.
Otherwise,
send over her credentials and wonder, has Philippe always been this frustrating?
You really probably should just head back to the inner colonies, or don't you want to go visit your family?
If I was at the inner colonies, they're more focused on having me run press than having any time for myself, sir. I doubt I could, even if I did.
Did you submit a leave form?
Yes, several times. All denied.
Did you appeal?
Yes, several times. All
Who did
denied.
you appeal to?
I appealed to, what would be the appropriate authority figure?
I don't even know if John would know that, if I'm being honest.
I prefer to think John is just fucking lying. I think that's funnier.
Can I roll a deception?
Sure. Charm deception -3. Let's see what you can pull.
Charm deception -3, so I have a threshold of 4. Hey, I got a 4, so 1 success.
Philippe?
Let me go check. We'll go see if I can get the rolling thingamajig up now.
Do you want me to roll for you?
No, it's fine.
It'd be
Sir, my voice actors just completely fucked up my character.
I'm guessing keen empathy.
Yeah, keen
Probably,
empathy.
yes.
Yeah.
All right, 1 failure. So Philippe just kind of shrugs and goes, "All right, sounds like she went through the proper hoops then, well, except for the desertion part." Oh, I mean, it's her all right, but he kind of pushes the mic away and looks over at Jeanne like, "Do you want to shoot her?
Shoot
Like,
her?
what do you want me to do here, Colonel?"
I don't know. It's supposed to be one of
she
your damn pilots.
Well, she hasn't been one of my pilots since she got taken over by the PR hounds back in the inner colonies. She's not in my chain of command anymore.
Well, according to her, that's not true.
Well, I didn't really. Last I checked, we aren't an anarchist militia. We don't get to just decide those things. So my question for you is, how do we want to play this? Because the inner colony command is going to be barking up our asses if we keep.
Well, we're already down some walker frames. You think you can make up a good story?
No. I'll just tell them to fuck off, though, if they ask.
Huh. Okay, how about this? So what you're gonna tell Jeanne is the official story is she was kidnapped and wherever the hell she was, and then she found that usurper there and stole it and came back to us.
One question.
Yes.
Should we really start a panic over kidnapping terrorists with experimental walker frames in the intercom? Might that have consequences?
I don't know what war you've been fighting, Major, but that shit already happens all the damn time in this place.
I mean, that's a fair point, but, you know.
All
right, John,
and that just needs to be the official story.
Yeah. Shush, sir. I got it. All right, and he'll lean over to the mic. All right, John, here's the official story. You got kidnapped by someone, and then you escaped from captivity, that usurper, and escaped with it, and reported to your nearest command since you're the nearest federal forces in the area, and you would have reported back to the inner colonies, but you were too far from.
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right, welcome back then. Get out of your cockpit, hit the shower, get some chow when you're ready.
And John is going to fly into the hangar and land with her brand new car.
He'll turn off the microphone and turn to the colonel. It really is just kind of a circus these days, huh?
It makes me miss the fucking belt.
Sir, we're in the back half.
Yeah, me too.
One of the deck officers. Sir, we're in the back half of the anime season. It's gotta be.
This is what we call mid-season upgrade.
Well, I need to take a leak. And he'll just salute and depart.
And Nora. Yeah, you, Nora.
Yes.
Something weird happens in the hangar.
Yeah, Philippe didn't tell anyone, by the way, so John's just there now.
I see.
Adult fuck.
You get word that the hangar's going under depressurization, despite the fact that nobody's supposed to be showing up, because no one's supposed to have left or is supposed to be arriving at this current moment.
Huh. Oh. Nora, make sure she's armed.
And
however a walker frame could have, or whatever got here without being blown up is news to her.
And when you go to look through one of the airlock windows, what you see is another brand spanking new walker frame. You know, released this year. There's less than 100 of them. The Usurper, which is a transformable walker frame. Which begs the question, how the fuck did it get here? Because they're all supposed to be on Titan.
That is quite odd.
And worse yet, when the hangar is repressurized and you see the pilot clamber on out, it's fucking Jeanne.
Nora just looks up. Jeanne?
Jeanne is going to step out of the cockpit and take off her helmet. Oh, Captain Callaghan. There we go. My voice actor got my voice back. Wonderful. Hi, Captain. Oh, Captain Callaghan.
When did you get transferred back?
I'm gonna flip a coin real quick. Actually, you know what? No. It's funnier if I just lie with the official story. It's more believable if that's what everyone else is told first. It's a complicated story, ma'am. I was going about my press tour and, well, security was lacking one day. Next thing I know, I find myself kidnapped by some terrorists. They somehow had one of these, and I managed to take it back. Thankfully, by a stroke of luck, you guys were the closest, so I decided to report back sooner than expected. I gave the bridge crew quite a scare. They were going to shoot me.
Oh, quite good.
I have a question. Is Nora buying this?
No, she's not. She's not buying this, but she doesn't care.
It's who cares? That's just that we just need to proliferate the story through the ship, so it'll be more believable to high command.
You know, if you just keep repeating it long enough, and no one says anything to the contrary, they're just gonna have to accept that that's the story.
Master Chief, do you mind explaining what you're doing in that
carrier?
Sir.
I got lost.
Sir. Oops. My bad, sir. I'm imagining, okay, wait, no, okay, with John and, I'm just imagining, right? John is looking at Nora, and Nora's got the, yes, quite good face and nodding, and John knows that she knows that she's lying, and Nora knows that John knows that she knows that she's lying, but they're not going to say anything to each other about it, so really.
You know what this reminds me of? It's that image of the seal with, you know, hands interlocked at the base of them.
Perhaps.
Just bare-faced lying.
Yeah. Jeanne just kind of looks around. How's the situation, Captain? Terrible?
Well, we've had some change in members for our party here.
Changes how, man?
Emmett is a traitor, has always been.
Massive eyebrow raise at that, but continue.
I like to imagine a random crew member hands you the newspaper article as like he's floating by.
John is gonna open the newspaper and turn to the page that's like highlighted with a bunch of stickies on it, and just it's like a picture of Emmett with like the dorkiest smile, and it's just fucking.
It's a picture of Emmett and Emin on a Jovian ship getting a handshake from what looks like a political officer of the Jovian Union saying, "Brave Jovian heroes return after deep cover operation within the Federation."
Oh, hey, it's the Jovian political officer who said something very ominous towards me, and then I overheard one of the other Reds say to her commanding officer, and I quote, "So you could turn me into a breeding pig," end quote. So, that's nice. Jean's just gonna eye the paper, read the headlines. I'm noticing Courage's walker frame isn't here. Did we manage to recover her?
No.
Jean's expression lowers. I see. I suppose it's eye for an eye on that front.
Indeed. I don't think they're dead, but we don't know.
Missing in action? I assume
Likely.
that's what the Admiral... I assume that's what the Admiralty is going to report anyways.
Likely that is what they'll report.
John is going to look at the newspaper one more time. Sorry, I was just imagining it. It's like pictures of their faces, the biggest, dorkiest smiles, and it's like, traitor to the Federation people. And it's like the fucking image of SpongeBob and Patrick in the movie where it's like, don't worry, Mr. Krabs, your life is in our hands. Then it seems we have a lot of work to do.
Indeed we do.
Well, I'll be getting reintroductions out of the way.
You know, as you say that,
Captain,
you go ahead.
Yes.
Jeanne is going to float up to her, raise her finger, and put it on the barrel of the pistol, and lower it. You can go easy. You can be at ease now, and she's gonna float by.
Wait, what?
Sorry. Can I just say that the pistol was pointed the whole time? Is that okay, Paradox?
I'm fine with that. Nora would totally just have the pistol just at the ready.
Just casual conversation, pointed pistol. It's okay. It's okay. I understand, Nora. It's okay, you're a Martian, you can't help it.
My emotional support revolver.
And John's just gonna go ahead and enter the rest of the ship. Go further into the interior. And I think Jeanne has, in her great time of thinking, Jeanne has realized that she can't just be sitting around anymore. She can't just keep basically being self-pitying and stuff. So every time she passes by someone, they're like, "Whoa, John, you're back." She's just going to say kidnapped and float past them and not elaborate.
Kidnapped.
It's very Moon's Haunted of you.
John's back. John's back. Kidnapped. Kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Kidnapped.
climbs back into the walker frame. Jeanne, you notice throughout the ship that the mood is noticeably lower.
Not shocking. Not shocking. The mood was already pretty dour when she left for her press tour, and well, she just got handed a newspaper saying 2 of their pilots were apparently allegedly deep state undercover agents of the Jovian Union, and Courage Hampson is currently missing in action and potentially dead. And honestly, she noticed just the slightest inflection in Philippe's voice, much like her own for a moment, of he doesn't sound very good himself. So, no. Also helps that, as was said in VC spam, Jamie did send her a letter, and it came back in mostly black bars. So,
always what we want to see. And you see Shock, who looks at you funny. You've gotten used to this at this point, and she simply says, "Who the fuck dragged your ass back here?"
By all technicality, ma'am, I dragged my ass back myself.
Why the fuck would you do that?
Kidnapped.
Sounds like some bullshit. And then you see Side Saddle next to her say, "Oh, did you kill anyone?"
No, I just stole it.
Aww.
And ran. Well, I did kneecap one of them.
Oh, did they scream?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. And she's gonna pull out Bishop's regards.
Your comically big revolver.
My comically big snub-nosed revolver that she can hide. Everyone here seems to be tight-lipped. So, she's gonna pull out the newspaper. What happened while I was gone?
Some real bullshit.
I can certainly tell, considering 2 of our pilots are on the front pages of Jovian News.
I still don't know what the fuck happened.
Do you believe it?
Fuck no.
Jeanne kind of nods and just says, I only knew Emmett for a little, but his dislike towards the Jovian Union's methods was genuine. Not to say that I'm gonna actually can I make a keen empathy roll?
Sure.
To just try and clock Emmett's shit. And that's a critical success.
You know everything.
And knowing Emmett, if I were to guess, something happened during a fight and he decided that he needed to... Well, if I were to guess, something was happening in the heat of battle, and rather than think anything through, he just pulled the trigger first and realized he had to go ahead and run.
Whatever the fuck happened. And he's over there now.
If we see him again, I'll ask him myself.
Oh, you think
if I asked the captain, if I were to ask the captain, I'm sure she would go on a tirade, and if I asked the major, I doubt he'd tell me anything.
I don't know. Philippe might tell you he got shot down for the first time.
What did she say?
Shock said, well, he might tell you that he's been shot down for the first time.
The major?
Yeah, can't you tell it? She points up to her eyeball.
Oh.
Wait, have you not seen him yet?
No. Unfortunately, we were only on contact. We didn't have visual comms.
You should probably go talk to him.
I'm gonna see. I'll see. Oh wait, no, sorry. Frep isn't in the voice chat. Oh, my bad. Jeanne will just nod. I'll head over now. Thanks, Shock.
Yeah, kid.
Side saddle. I'll talk to you later.
I'm gonna want to hear all about that.
John's gonna make a mental note to make up some bullshit about her epic escapade, escaping terrorists, and she is going to, she's gonna, I guess, head to Philippe's area.
You'll find him in his office.
Knock, knock.
Yes?
And the door, or I guess she's going to say, Major, it's me.
Oh, come in.
And she's going to open the door, and she's going to see Philippe's eyeball, and she's going to immediately, obviously go, from the fact that, oh, yeah, shit, he does have an eye patch now. But she's going to swallow a bit and close the door. I doubt you're going to tell me what happened, Major.
What's there to say? I was shot down.
And who exactly did it?
Caleb almost looks bemused at the question. Surely you saw the article by now.
So, I guess it was him, wasn't it?
If by him you mean Emmett Leap, yes.
I leave for a few months and this happens. And she's gonna make her way over to him and just kind of...
a few months. You've been gone for exactly a month.
1 month. 1 month I leave you people alone. But she's going to make her way over to Philippe and just float over to him. And she's gonna get close. Permission to examine your eyes, sir?
Denied. You're already rather close as it is.
This is all a bit hard to believe, to be honest, sir.
Why?
Well, I leave for a month, and now all of a sudden, half of our team is missing. Well, one of them is missing, and 2 of them are apparently Jovian heroes.
He shakes his head. Don't think of it as a month. You were gone not for 1 month, but for 720 hours. Think of how much flight time, combat time, etc. can happen in 720 hours.
She nods. I doubt he... Knowing Emmett, at least as little as I know, as I got to know him before everything happened, he must have absolutely thought he was in the right for whatever was happening.
Of course he did. That's why anyone shoots at someone else, Jeanne. I thought I taught you that.
I guess I just have to ask what exactly made him believe it be right.
It doesn't really matter.
I guess not. But I still have to ask.
Well, I'm sure you can get access to the camera footage.
Major,
Mm-hmm.
what do you take of the whole situation? I mean,
My take of the situation is that I was shot almost in the cockpit, had quite a bit of my face hit by the explosion and shrapnel, and now all people can say to me is how different I'm acting, and how they react like you do when they see the eye patch. So here's my conclusion on it. It doesn't matter. None of it mattered. It doesn't matter why he did it. It doesn't matter if he was a defector. It doesn't matter if he decided on spur of the moment. It doesn't change what happened. And what happened is, he nearly killed me. He shot me when I was counting on him to watch my 6. And he took advantage of that and betrayed me. He can spin up whatever motivation he wants. If he wants to craft a blanket to hold at night, but it just doesn't matter.
How's Philippe looking when he's talking like this?
He's still smiling, but there's just a twitch to his eye.
I guess it doesn't matter, sir.
You shouldn't have come back here. Part of the reason I recommended you for that tour was to get you out of here.
That's because you know what's happened, what the situation... That's because you know how this is going to end, don't you?
Of course. I knew that when I was deployed here.
Can I... Permission to speak freely, sir?
Go on.
I did a lot of thinking on the press tour. Honestly, I should thank you. It gave me time to think. And I know this is going to sound ridiculous, considering I came back, but I signed up to the safe forces for a complete and total I didn't sign up for the Federation, sir. I signed up to your idea of the Federation. And now I think I see that that Federation hasn't existed, at least not for a long time, sir.
Then feel free to start calling yourself Sancho Panza.
She chuckles. Sir, you know I won't understand that reference.
Sounds like you had more reading to do then, so you should have stayed away. But you're here now. Nothing to be done about that either.
Well, there is one thing. Make it out.
That is the objective at this point.
Philippe.
Major Guerre.
No. Philippe. At the moment. I'm going to do what you say. I believe in the person you are. Your ideals, your hopes, your vision for people and how we should all behave and act towards each other. But I'm going to do so while following my own path. I can't just keep following you forever. But for now, you are still that person I met on that colony all those years ago. Still the same brave, kind, and overall hopeful person. Even
This
if
is rather
right now,
melodramatic, isn't it?
I'm just feeling a little emotional, sir.
Oh, is there anything else?
No, sir. I'll leave you to it now.
Oh, and Chevalier, before you go, you probably should just go.
If that's how it turns out to be, then I'll leave. I'll get out of your hair.
It's not about being in my hair. It's just when subordinate officers begin talking of following their own path, I tend to have a habit of getting shot, it seems.
Fair enough, sir. And I think with that, she's just going to close the door behind her. She's going to stick it with Philippe just a little longer.
And that seems like a good spot to take a small little break. As the eye catch plays, we'll catch you back in part 2.